Hello and welcome to Hallis Hall in this edition of Bear Download. I'm Rich Campbell along with Dan Wiederer. We have this microphone rotation going just like Bear safeties. If you haven't checked out that video yet, highly recommend it.
Good piece.
But Dan, let's talk about Jay Cutler and what he faces in the Bills defense on Sunday. Jim Schwartz, new Bills defensive coordinators, obviously someone Jay is familiar with from all the time Jim has spent in Detroit. What do you expect out of that Bills defense this weekend?
Well, look, this isn't just Jay Cutler facing this defense.
Sure.
This is this offensive line having to control a very good front four. And when you look at the Bills' front four, they're sneaky good. This is a unit that had 41 of the team's 57 sacks a year ago. Those starting front four, you've got Mario Williams and Jerry Hughes on the end, and then two very disruptive tackles in the middle in Kyle Williams, who's been a three-time Pro Bowler, and Marcel Darius. And so there's a lot of guys up there that can cause penetration, can cause disruption, and you're going to have to get control of those guys, and particularly in the middle when you've got a guy like Kyle Williams in there that can do some things and really cause some havoc in there. And then Jordan Mills, as we've talked about, his first action of 2014 comes against Mario Williams, a Pro Bowl player himself, who can cause a lot of disruption off the edge.
Yeah, talking to Willie Young, the Bears defensive end who played in that system under Jim Schwartz the last few years, basically said that this is going to be an attacking, penetrating defense. The Bears can attack it with some screens, some draws, misdirection, because those defensive linemen are always chasing the quarterback, and they're taught to stop the run on the way to the quarterback. Jay Cutler, he knows how to play against this defense. They've done it. It's going to be a matter of execution, and in that regard, this offense is very confident just based on some of the things they were able to do in preseason. Jay had a pretty good preseason himself, and obviously you're looking back to last year as well and what they accomplished.
Yeah, and look, short-term memory tells you that a year ago against Jim Schwartz's defense, the Bears struggled a little bit. Jay Cutler had two of his worst performances a year ago against the Lions, but you rewind further than that, and Cutler's had some success against Schwartz over the years, and he knows what he's facing. He's familiar with it. There's a lot of guys on this team that are familiar with what they're going to see. Hopefully they can build on that confidence. The one thing you sense from this offense is that they're eager, after all these months of talking about potential, all these months of talking about continuity, all these months about talking about 2013, they're ready to put something new into the script and figure out just exactly where they are as an offense and be able to build from that after the season opener.
Yeah, Jay had some interesting things to say about that particular element this afternoon, saying basically the Bears have to hit the reset button, but there is an element of calmness because these guys have played together. They've been through some situations, and we'll just have to see how it plays out. You mentioned Jay's history against Jim Schwartz, 8-3 lifetime, but two of those losses last year against a Detroit line that really got after this Bears offensive line.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, Ndamukong Suh and Nick Fairley are two pretty imposing guys up front, but Kyle Williams and Marcel Darius are similar in Buffalo, so it'll be interesting to see those comparisons.
Yeah, you talk about can't wait for week one. We're in that boat too. Time to play some games, really, and let's push these storylines forward. All right. We'll continue to have coverage for you all weekend as we head up to kickoff on Sunday at Soldier Field at noon. For Dan Wiederer, I'm Rich Campbell, and that'll do it for this edition of Bear Download.